Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to Peter and Roughie's Football Show, sponsored by Arnold Clark. I'm Peter Martin, delighted you could join us on this Friday as we get ready for Scotland against Russia tonight at Hampden Park. In the studio, two guys who know all about playing for Scotland at the highest level, Alan Rough and former Scotland captain Barry Ferguson. Here's what's on the menu. Scotland against Russia. We are optimistic. Well, two of us are optimistic. Let's speak to doom and gloom first of all. Roughie, you're not filled with that optimism.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm drastically wrong. I haven't seen anything in the other games. We struggled to beat an average Cyprus side. I do hope I'm wrong. I hope we have a different attitude. I want us to go at Russia. I want us to play an attacking style. I know you guys are saying we want to be sort of a hard to beat. I want us to win at home. I want us to show that the midfield we've got, with the ability we've got in there, that we have got attacking qualities and we can find a goal scorer.
I can't argue with Roughie on the evidence or the lack of it so far. What fills you with optimism?
I just think he's had another week with him, Peter, to work on certain things that he wants to implement into his team selection. So I just look again at what Roughie had mentioned there. I look at the quality. We've got real quality in that midfield area. Still worries me defensively, the centre backs, and obviously the lack of main strikers. But I think we've got enough quality in that middle of the park in the wide areas to go win a game. And as I says, the managers had another 4 or 5 days on the training pitch and doing double sessions, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. So that's why I'm quietly confident we can get the victory that's needed against a good, let's not forget that, against a good Russian team.
Yeah, you can give us your view on our YouTube channel as ever, Monday to Friday. The programme is on, and we value your opinions on the YouTube channel. Try and keep it, of course, about the football as well. But out there at Hampden Park, we've sent our reporter Gabriel Antoniazzi to set us up nicely for the game.
Welcome to the south side of Glasgow, and it's been a while since we were last here. Perhaps you can tell at the start of summer. That means Steve Clarke has had plenty of time to think over this one against World Cup quarter-finalists Russia. Now, perhaps the most crucial game of qualification so far. If Scotland are to have any realistic aim of qualifying for next summer's Euros automatically, then they must win this evening. Steve Clarke, however, has been clear to state that that is not the case, but he does believe it is time that Scotland win a match here against a so-called big nation at Hampden Park. All of the sounds coming out of the camp are that training went very positively this week, with a focus on the structure and shape of the team. With a core of Premier League players in the squad, coupled with Celtic star performers, expectation is on the rise. Ollie McBurney could lead the line after clearing the air over his controversial comments. Russia are no mugs though, having been a penalty kick away from a home World Cup semi-final. And they keep an eye out for their attacking midfielders Denis Cheryshev and Alexander Golovin, as well as talismanic striker Artem Dzyuba. Captain Andy Robertson has said it will be these next few fixtures that decide who finishes second in the group behind Belgium, and Clarke thinks it's time to take a big scalp.
I think rather than put the pressure onto one game, I think over the course of the next 3 games, we have to get enough points to make sure that we're still in the group after these 3 games. So whether it's tomorrow night, whether it's on Monday, or whether it's in the away game against Russia, we have to pick up some points. We're aware of that.
Scotland have met the Soviet Union many times before, but as Russia, they've only played twice, both times ending a draw in the mid-90s. Now, if Steve Clarke's men are to qualify via the traditional routes, they're going to need more than that tonight.
Yeah, just as Gabriel mentioned there, 3 crucial games ahead and the double header over the course of this weekend. Vital we get at least 3 points, I think, to give us even a sniff. Here's the group. Is it at least 3 or do you think we need 4, Roughie? I mean, 4 would be welcome, but is 1 win enough?
I think I'll go the opposite way. If we don't win tonight, we're out. You know, I think we can't win at home tonight. I can't see us beating Russia away. You know, and if that's the case, then we're not going to take off Belgium. So we'll just have to focus on the playoffs and try and get a decent side organised and give all these young players a time to bed in and really, really focus on the playoff games. So it's a win for me. It has to be a win.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Even a draw isn't good enough for me tonight.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think they've got to win tonight. There's a bit of pressure, but as I said, I think with them having another full week under the guidance of the Stevie Clarke, I think that's why I'm confident we will get. It's going to be difficult, Peter. As I said, it will be a difficult game, but I think we've got the right man in charge. You look at his Kilmarnock team over the last couple of years. So obviously been well drilled and well organised, and I think his Scotland team will be the same. But as I say, in that midfield area, we have got the talent and the ability to create some chances and hopefully to take them tonight.
Yeah, although they're only just above us in the FIFA rankings, Roughie, this is a side that were, a hair's breadth away from the semi-finals of the World Cup.
Yeah, the FIFA rankings are all over the place. I mean, you get points for winning in friendlies, and depending who you're playing, it could be San Marino or something like that. And these ratings are false. You have to go on the facts are that this team got into the quarterfinals of the World Cup and were only on penalty kicks. They never got any further. So that is something we couldn't even dream of being. We can't even get to a World Cup final, never mind get into the last 8. So you've got to give this team a lot of compliments. They have individual players playing with big top clubs, in Europe. So it'd be a big ask. But as Barry will tell you, we are good at winning big games. And if it's going to be winning the big games, this is the one you target. This is the one you would look at on paper and say, we're at home. Everybody says, oh, they don't travel too good, all that stuff. So let's get in about them. Let's press. We saw Celtic pressing Rangers and getting a reward. We've seen Hearts pressing Celtic and getting a... Let's have a pressing game and let's start using our good players that we keep talking about. Ryan Fraser, Forrest on the other side, and hope McBurney comes up with the goods. And McGinn's a big one for me. I think he's not showing his true form in a Scotland jersey yet. I think he gives away the ball, a lot of possession too often, and puts the rest of the team in trouble. So I hope he's learned for the games that he's played in as well, because I think he's a massive player. But for me, it's all at the back. I mean, Charlie Mulgrew's not even playing regular with Wigan. And this boy, Liam Cooper, it's his first cap tonight. So that'll be a wee bit of a nervous area for me. But hopefully we can stop them getting it. We're back 4.
Yeah, there's 2 elements to that I want to get your thoughts on, Barry, because I think the one thing, when you look back at your time at Scotland, some people will look back at the games and think, how many times did you give away possession? If anything, that was one of the great things about you. You valued keeping the team on the ball, even if you were up against it. And I take on board what Roughie says about John McGinn. I think the whole midfield needs to realise when you go up levels, better teams kill you when you give them the ball easily.
Yeah, first and foremost, people need to realise the domestic game's totally different from international. It did take me a while to get used to it.
What was the difference?
You're coming up against top quality, no matter if you're playing the best players in their country. That's what basically the national team is. And certainly Russia have got a lot of quality, but the teams that I played, the successful teams, Scotland teams I played in, we had this set way of playing. We were difficult to break down, but when we got the ball, we made sure we kept it and get behind people, getting behind them in the wide areas, certainly. Now I look at the 2 wide players for Scotland, Ryan Fraser and James Forrest, 2 players I hate. I don't hate. I rate highly. So if we can get the ball to them early, we've got a real chance. But it's key in the middle of the park. McTominay, Callum McGregor and McGinn keep the ball moving. Keep possession of it, but move it quickly. and make it difficult, make it uncomfy for them. That was one of the things that, certainly under the Scotland teams that I played with, is the first 10-15 minutes, don't make it easy for them. Get them on the back foot, press them, harry them, make them feel uncomfy. Then the crowd will start to get behind you, and then hopefully you can get the right result.
Before I come to Roughie and give him a chance to explain to some of our younger viewers exactly the quality that he had in front of him, is there a responsibility, instead of us constantly absolutely annihilating our lack of a good centre half, is there more of a responsibility on the quality midfielders to try and protect them? Because as Roughie mentioned, these guys tonight, even with Scott McKenna when he was fit, I always thought we were susceptible right at the heart of that defence.
Well, I would suspect that Stevie Clark will go with one holding midfield, and that's the holding midfielder's job, is to protect the ball for going into the centre backs, going into Russia's main striker. So whether it's McTominay or Callum McGregor, I would hazard a guess it's going to be McTominay. That's where he's been playing for Manchester United. So he's going to have a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. But again, he's a boy who can handle that. He's playing with probably the biggest club in the world. So he'll have a lot of responsibility on his shoulders, as I said. But playing in that position, it is key that you stop balls going into the strikers of Russia.
Yeah, over and above that, we're hoping that this is a team that's bonding. According to Andy Robertson, they are a tight unit.
He's done exactly that. He's put belief back in the squad. He's came in and just got us all believing again, and training and playing with a smile on our faces, and getting us right for the games. We're as prepared as we can be for this game tomorrow, and it's all about us now going into the game and showing that. Like I said, we've not had a big performance in a big game in a long time, and we need to try and do that, because that's the only way you qualify for these kind of tournaments, by getting big results.
How important is it to have a group of guys who actually get on with each other? They have that feeling of, we want to be here, we want to fight for each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's important, especially at international. Peter, you only get maybe 7 to 10 days with your teammates. You're not with them every single day. That was one of the things that Walter Smith done when he first came in. We were struggling as a team, and he made sure that we're all together. He made it like a happy place, that everybody, training was enjoyable. And I sense that what Andy Robertson's saying there, I sense that Stevie Clark has done that to this Scotland team. He looks to me, I'll be honest with you, I know sometimes he's a bit straight on TV, but for me, he's a manager that I would want to play under. I just like what he says, and I think he's different on camera. He would be off camera. I think he would be a manager who would be good to have about the place. He would encourage everybody. But the biggest thing for me is, I think the players will know their job inside out under Stevie Clark. And that's what I kind of look back, that's what Walter Smith brought to the Scotland national team. And then Alec took over the first time. That's what everybody, every single player knew their job before they went out on that pitch. And I'm sure that Stevie Clark will have the same thing going with this Scotland team. Yeah,
great days that you had at international level, Roughie, but you were confident as a goalkeeper because your centre halves, you knew exactly what they were going to do.
Yeah, well, right through, the team selections. Way back then, it was based on players knowing each other inside out. There used to be, in every squad, there'd be 5 Rangers players, there'd be 5 Celtic players, and then a scattering of Liverpool players and Man United players. And the bonding was there because they would travel up together, and everybody knew each other. I think now the Scotland team is all about individuals for other sides. We had last year, we had like 5 Celtic players in a Scotland 11. That's not the case now. So for me, it's about an individuals all coming together as a unit. And if they can prove that they all can work as a unit, I think we'll get a success.
But you look at his interview there, he's smiling, Andy Robertson. I'm not saying that he was doom and gloom in the previous regime, but it looks to me as it's a happy camp.
Yeah.
And when you get a happy camp, you get results.
Who was your favourite, Roughie, that you knew, your 2 favourite centre halves that you thought, I'm happy they're there?
Well, I suppose Willie Miller and Alan Hansen, to me, complemented each other. Obviously, Alec McLeish and Willie Miller as well. But for me, Alan Hansen was just a different class. He was way ahead of his time, you know. And I can't believe he only got, was it 12 caps or something like that?
22.
As much as that, did he?
Yeah,
Well, I can't.
he got about 20 caps.
All he got was fantastic. But I always liked a big centre half in front of me, a Gordon McQueen or somebody like that, who just went and won the ball. They just did. They did what they were good at, and they played to their strengths. But Alan Hansen was a more of a sort of a Beckenbauer centre half, you know, on the ball. He was early. There was nobody ever talked about centre half being comfortable on the ball as we do now. We want centre halves to be using the ball for the back. Alan was 10, 15 years way ahead of that.
Is he your favourite centre half?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
26 caps.
Yeah, well, it should have been more than that.
Yeah.
I think it took him a while to get to 26.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe you were only there with 12 occasions where you remember him. Is that fair, Roughie?
I don't think I played with him that much.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, you played with him in...
Partick Thistle for a short space of time.
And you also played with him in Spain for the World Cup. He was over there for that at that time as well. Of course, the great news, one of the things we should applaud, and I think it's well worthy of a mention, Andy Robertson's been included in FIFA's, I think it's something like top 55 players, and he could be in the eventual whittled down to the top team in that left-back position.
I'm not surprised. I ain't surprised at all. I watch him closely when Liverpool are on TV, and for me, every single game I watch him, he just seems to get better. I think the way that Liverpool play suits him down to a T. I mean, he loves to get forward, and you can hear every time you watch Liverpool, the fans chanting his name. They love him down there, and what a signing he's been for Liverpool. And it's great for the Scottish game that 6 years ago he was playing in League Two with Queen's Park, and now he's a Champions League winner. He's captain of his country. I mean, things are going great for the boy, and he deserves it because he's worked hard for it.
I mean, you listen to the names in the defender section of the FIFA list. Jordi Alba, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Dani Alves, João Cancelo, Carvajal at Real Madrid, Chiellini at Juventus, Matthias de Ligt, Godin at Atletico Madrid, who's now at Internacional, Kimmich of Bayern Munich, Koulibaly at Napoli, Laporte, Man City, Marcelo at Real Madrid, and you've got Piqué, Ramos, Sandro, Silva, Van Dijk, Varane, Walker, and Andy Robertson. That's not bad, Roughie, eh?
Yeah, it's fantastic. If he was to even, you know, jump ahead of 2 or 3 of them and get in the side, it's another remarkable jump for him, you know. But and like there's a few Liverpool boys in it, isn't there, for the whole team?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
you've got Trent Alexander-Arnold and Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
Well, he's a stick on, isn't he, Van Dijk?
Yeah, he's had a great season.
Yeah. And I think Andy Robertson's the best left back that you've mentioned there.
Yeah, I think, listen, I share your view on that. I don't want to be unbelievably biased. Oh, why not? Let's just be biased.
I'm just being honest.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Well, let's hope he's in there in the final selection. Before we get on to some domestic matters, let's have a look at our quiz winner and the answer. Well done, Andrew McFadgen, PLZ team T-shirt in your favourite colours will be on the way to you very shortly. The answer was Jim McLean, of course. Let me just mention to you, Jim McLean guided Dundee United not only to the Premier League title, but to the European Cup semi-final in 1984. It defies belief, Roughie.
Yeah, and if you ask any of the United boys, they're more than happy if they just signed a 4-year and a 4-year option.
It was one of his traits to try and get people on long deals.
On when I was like 15, 16 year old.
Yeah,
a lot of boys were getting offered the crazy contracts.
I think Big Duncan had one of those potential offers on the table.
6-year contract with a 5-year option, something crazy like that, wasn't it?
You imagine trying to get them out of it and what the fee would be. But nevertheless, I wonder, I mean, if anything, if you talk to a lot of the Dundee United players, some of the methods of the training and the way he conducted himself as a manager, they found it hard to take at times. But the one thing, we had Maurice Malpass on the show, and he mentioned the fact that they had poor basics as a wage, but they had massive bonuses, and that incentive drove the United players on.
Yeah, well, I kind of get that. That's they've got to have success to earn a bit of money. I know quite a lot of clubs still do that, and I don't think it's a bad way.
Yeah.
A low basic, and when you start to achieve things, that you get paid well. So no, it certainly worked well for Dundee United at that time.
Yeah. Okay, thanks to Roughie and Barry for their thoughts. Don't forget, on Monday we will look ahead to the build-up to the Belgium game, hopefully with optimism, because we've defeated Russia. Enjoy the game, go there and enjoy it. And if you want to interact with us, you can, right across all the social media that you can see there. Twitter, of course, YouTube. You can download the app as well, and you can actually record your message, and we might even feature it on the show as well. Just give us your thoughts in the app on the game, and we'll put that on the show for Monday as well. So you can subscribe to the YouTube. You can get more of us Monday to Friday. Of course, the team getting bigger, and we'll give you details coming up very soon of how you can follow us for the podcast as well. Thanks to Roughie, thanks to Barry, from myself, Peter Martin. Thanks for watching.
Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.